Have you noticed a loved one slowly turning down visits, once cherished calls, or even family gatherings? This shift can be puzzling, leaving families concerned about the sudden change in their once sociable relative. Many people often dismiss these changes, believing it's just a natural part of getting older. While some slowing down is indeed normal, a persistent and profound social retreat often signals something much deeper at play. The body and mind send quiet warnings, subtle shifts that most people miss, clues indicating a significant transition is underway. It's only later, looking back, that families realize the true reasons were there all along. In this video, we will unravel these changes, revealing the 3 core reasons why a loved one might begin to turn down visitors in their final year, offering clarity and understanding. Recognizing these signs early offers a precious opportunity. It allows you to provide better care, cherish meaningful moments, and most importantly, ensure your loved one's final stage of life is filled with comfort, dignity, and peace. Understanding these changes isn't about fearing what's ahead. It's about being prepared, making the most of the time you have, and deepening your connection, even in silence. One of the most noticeable shifts in the year leading up to a loved one's final stage of life is a profound physical exhaustion that seems to cling to them. It's not merely feeling a little tired after a busy day. It's a deep, pervasive weariness that makes even the simplest tasks feel monumental. Getting out of bed can become a challenge. Walking across a room might require immense effort. Activities that once felt routine, like cooking a simple meal, getting dressed, or even sustaining a conversation, start to feel overwhelmingly draining. This isn't just a matter of preference for quiet. It's a clear signal that the body is operating on significantly reduced energy reserves, leaving very little, if anything, for the demands of social interaction. This profound fatigue is not simply old age. It's a sign of the body's internal systems beginning a gradual slowdown. As various organs lose efficiency, the body instinctively shifts its priorities. Energy that was once readily available for movement, digestion, or engaging with the world is now redirected towards core preservation. The heart may not pump as strongly, circulation can become weaker, and muscles receive less oxygen, contributing to a constant feeling of weakness and instability. This metabolic slowdown means the body is less adept at converting food into usable energy, leading to a diminished capacity for activity. The natural response to this internal state is an overwhelming desire to rest, to conserve every last bit of available energy, leading directly to a decreased interest in external demands like visitors. For someone experiencing this deep exhaustion, social interaction, even with the most cherished loved ones, becomes an immense effort. It requires a sustained mental and physical presence to listen, to process information, to formulate responses, to maintain eye contact, and even to offer a smile. This is the work of being on, and when the body's energy reserves are profoundly depleted, this effort is simply too much to sustain. The individual may genuinely desire connection, but finds the sheer energy cost of engaging in conversation, or even simply being present in a bustling environment, unbearable. It's not a lack of love or interest, but a physical and mental limitation that dictates a need for quiet and solitude over stimulating social situations. Understanding this profound exhaustion is crucial for families. Instead of trying to encourage more activity or longer visits, the most compassionate response is to support the loved one's need for rest. This might mean offering shorter, quieter visits, accepting that they may doze off during your time together, or simply sitting in peaceful silence. Forcing interaction or pushing them to perk up will only increase their discomfort and frustration, accelerating their withdrawal. It is vital to remember that this desire for solitude is not a personal rejection of family. It is the body's natural way of conserving its remaining strength. By honoring their need for rest, families can provide comfort and support, allowing for more meaningful, albeit quieter, connections. As a person approaches the final stage of life, one of the most striking changes can be seen in how they think, communicate, and interact with others. You may notice that someone who was once sharp and engaged starts to forget things more often, struggles to follow conversations, or seems disoriented even in familiar places. They might repeat themselves, forget names, or lose track of time, even when they never had significant memory issues before. These subtle cognitive shifts, coupled with an increasing emotional withdrawal, are the second key reason for turning down visitors. This isn't just everyday forgetfulness. It's a sign that the mind, like the body, is beginning its quiet retreat. The brain, much like any other organ, requires a steady flow of oxygen and nutrients to function optimally. However, as circulation weakens and the overall body systems begin to slow, the supply to the brain can decrease. This reduction directly impairs cognitive function, making it harder to process new information, recall memories, make decisions, or maintain focus during complex interactions. The effort required for social engagement, listening, understanding, formulating responses, and navigating social cues becomes immensely taxing. This isn't a lack of willingness, but a physiological limitation. The brain struggles to keep up, turning what was once a pleasurable exchange into a source of stress and exhaustion, leading to a natural desire for quiet solitude. Beyond purely cognitive difficulties, there's also a profound emotional retreat. Someone nearing the end of life often loses interest in social interactions, not out of disinterest in their loved ones, but because their brain no longer processes emotions and engagement in the same way. Conversations become tiring, loud environments feel overwhelming, and the energy required to project a social persona is simply no longer available. This can lead to a sense of detachment, where they might sit in silence, seemingly indifferent to things that once mattered. It's crucial to understand that this withdrawal is not a personal rejection. It is a natural consequence of the brain adjusting to the body's decline, a shift toward an internal focus, as the external world becomes too demanding. For families, this stage requires a shift in how connections are maintained. Instead of trying to pull them back into active conversation, the most compassionate approach is to meet them where they are. This means speaking gently, offering reassurance, and avoiding the need to correct their confusion. Focus on the power of simple presence, a gentle touch, a shared moment of quiet, or even just sitting together without expectation. Create an environment that feels safe, familiar, and peaceful, free from sudden changes or overwhelming stimuli. Remember, even if they don't always respond with words, love and comfort can still be deeply felt through your unwavering, patient presence. This understanding allows for continued connection, even as the nature of that connection evolves. As a person approaches the final stages of life, one of the most unexpected yet profound changes can be a heightened sensory sensitivity, leading to a deep, almost instinctual need for peace. This marks the third key reason why a loved one might begin turning down visitors. The world, which once felt comfortable and familiar, can suddenly become overwhelmingly loud, bright, or even physically jarring. Sounds that were once ignorable, a television playing in the background, a clattering dish, or even the gentle hum of conversation, can become amplified, sharp, and distressing. Harsh lights can feel painful, and what was once a comforting touch might now feel intrusive or overwhelming. This isn't a conscious choice to avoid connection, but a bodily reaction to a world that feels too intense. This increased sensory sensitivity is not a matter of preference. It's a physiological response tied to the body's overall decline. As various systems begin to slow and weaken, the nervous system can also become less robust in its ability to filter and process external input. Where the brain once effortlessly managed a steady stream of sights, sounds, and sensations, it now struggles. This can lead to an experience akin to sensory overload, where the individual feels constantly bombarded and on edge. The body, already fragile and conserving energy, expends immense resources simply trying to cope with normal environmental stimuli. This is not a sign of stubbornness or unfriendliness, but rather the body communicating its urgent need for quiet and calm as it navigates its final, delicate phase. Given this heightened sensitivity, the mere presence of visitors, however loving and well-intentioned, can become an exhausting ordeal. Each new voice, every movement, the subtle shift in room temperature, or even the expectation of engagement, carries an energy cost that the body can no longer afford. The effort to process new information, to maintain a polite expression, or to simply track a conversation can be profoundly draining. What a visitor might perceive as a brief, pleasant interaction, the loved one experiences as a significant energy expenditure, leaving them feeling more depleted than refreshed. Their desire for solitude is not a rejection of affection, but a desperate search for predictable calm and quiet, a sanctuary where their overstimulated senses can finally rest. Understanding this need for peace allows families to adapt their approach, transforming visits into moments of genuine comfort. Instead of pushing for conversation or extended stays, consider shorter, quieter visits. Speak softly, reduce environmental stimuli by dimming lights or turning off the television, and avoid strong perfumes or loud accessories. Nonverbal comfort can become the most profound form of connection. A gentle hand held, a shared moment of silence, or simply sitting nearby without expectation. Reassure them with your presence, letting them know they are loved and understood, even if words are few. In these quiet moments, you are not just visiting, you are crafting a peaceful connection, honoring their need for serenity, and ensuring that your love brings comfort, not agitation. As we navigate the profound changes that can occur in a loved one's final year, it's essential to bring together the insights we've gained. We've explored 3 core reasons why an elderly person might begin to turn down visitors. First, the overwhelming burden of profound physical exhaustion and weakness. Second, the challenging landscape of cognitive and emotional shifts. And third, the often overlooked reality of heightened sensory sensitivity and a deep need for peace. These elements rarely act in isolation. Instead, they often intertwine, creating a complex tapestry of needs that calls for a compassionate and informed response. Understanding these interconnected pillars is the first step toward truly supporting your loved one. One of the most crucial understandings to embrace during this time is that a loved one's social withdrawal is almost never a personal rejection. It's easy for families to feel hurt, confused, or even guilty when once eager visits are declined, or when a vibrant personality seems to fade. However, this retreat is the body and mind's inherent message, a profound response to the internal transitions occurring. Your loved one isn't choosing to push you away. Rather, their internal world is shifting in ways they cannot control. Releasing the burden of personal offense and reframing these behaviors as a natural part of their journey allows for a more peaceful and empathetic approach from everyone involved. With this deeper understanding, the opportunity arises to adapt your approach, focusing on the quality of connection over the quantity of interaction. Instead of lengthy, bustling visits, consider shorter, quieter moments. Sometimes, simply sitting nearby, holding a hand, or sharing a gentle silence can be more profoundly comforting than any conversation. Creating an environment tailored to their changing needs, perhaps with soft lighting, calming music, or a familiar scent, can make all the difference. The goal is not to force engagement, but to offer a reassuring presence that respects their diminishing energy, cognitive shifts, and heightened sensitivities. It is about meeting them exactly where they are. Ultimately, the most profound gift you can offer during this time is the power of your loving presence and the unwavering commitment to uphold their dignity. Even when verbal communication fades or active engagement becomes impossible, the feeling of being loved, cherished, and safe remains paramount. Your quiet companionship, your gentle touch, and your understanding smile communicate more than words ever could. Ensuring comfort, respecting their need for solitude, and creating an atmosphere of peace contributes immeasurably to a dignified end-of-life transition. This isn't about fixing what cannot be fixed. It's about honoring their journey and providing solace in their quiet retreat. Navigating these shifts in a loved one's social engagement often means adjusting our own expectations. Instead of pushing for the vibrant interactions of the past, families can embrace a new rhythm of connection, focusing on comfort and meaningful presence. This might involve shorter, quieter visits, understanding that even a few minutes can be deeply cherished. Communication can shift from lengthy conversations to gentle touches, a shared silence, or simply sitting together in companionship. Creating a peaceful environment, with soft lighting and familiar sounds, tailored to their heightened sensitivities, becomes paramount. The focus moves from the quantity of interaction to the profound quality of connection, honoring their need for peace while still offering unwavering love. In this quiet, reflective stage, the most profound gift that can be offered is simply presence and the unwavering commitment to their dignity. It is not always about what is said, or even what is actively done, but the steadfast assurance that they are not alone. Ensuring their comfort, maintaining a sense of safety, and upholding their dignity become the highest priorities. This loving presence, even without active engagement, communicates profound care and acceptance. It helps to smooth the path for a peaceful transition, affirming that they are valued, understood, and deeply loved, right to the very end. This quiet companionship speaks volumes, often beyond words or busy schedules. As we come to the end of this journey of understanding, let's take a moment to reflect on the 3 profound reasons why a loved one may begin to retreat from social interactions in their final year. We've explored how profound physical exhaustion drains their energy, making even simple engagement overwhelming. We've seen how cognitive and emotional shifts can create a labyrinth of confusion and detachment, making traditional conversations difficult. And we've uncovered how heightened sensory sensitivity turns the once familiar world into an overwhelming cascade of stimuli, driving a deep need for peace. These signs rarely appear in isolation. Instead, they often work in concert, painting a clearer picture of their quiet call for solitude. For many families, witnessing this withdrawal can be incredibly painful, often leading to feelings of rejection or guilt. It's easy to wonder if you've done something wrong, or if your loved one no longer cherishes your presence. But it is crucial to remember this truth. Their turning away is not a personal slight. It is the body's natural response, a message from within, that their internal world is shifting, preparing for a deeper transition. Understanding this allows you to release the burden of misplaced guilt and reframe your expectations. This is not about them actively pushing you away. It is about their body and mind instinctively seeking the peace and quiet they now require. Knowing these underlying reasons empowers us to adapt our approach, shifting from a focus on quantity of interaction to quality of connection. Instead of long, bustling visits, consider shorter, quieter moments. Communication may move beyond words, finding expression in a gentle touch, a shared silence, or simply sitting together in the same room. Create an environment tailored to their needs, soft lighting, a peaceful atmosphere, and minimal distractions. Offer a favorite quiet activity, like listening to music or a gentle story, without the expectation of active participation. This adaptation isn't a compromise. It's a profound act of love, honoring their changing needs and allowing connection to flow in new, deeply meaningful ways. In these final months, the most powerful gift you can offer is simply your presence and the unwavering assurance of their dignity. It may not always be about vibrant conversation or shared laughter. Sometimes it is merely about being there, a steady, comforting anchor in their shifting world. Ensuring their physical comfort, maintaining their personal dignity, and creating an environment where they feel loved, safe, and at ease becomes paramount. This loving presence, even without active engagement, communicates profound care. It helps pave the way for a transition that is as peaceful and dignified as possible, reminding them that they are cherished and never alone on this quiet journey. This journey of witnessing a loved one's quiet retreat is undoubtedly challenging, often filled with moments of sadness and uncertainty. Yet understanding these 3 signs, the physical exhaustion, the cognitive shifts, and the sensory sensitivity, can bring immense strength and peace. It allows you to move forward with clarity, accepting what is happening, and focusing your energy on providing comfort and love. Remember, you are not alone in navigating this path. Countless families have walked it before, finding solace in understanding and cherishing the quiet, profound moments that remain. Embrace this knowledge, not with fear, but as a guide to connect more deeply and ensure their final stage of life is filled with the utmost compassion and peace. Thank you for joining us today and for taking the time to understand these vital insights. We hope this video has brought you clarity and comfort. We'd love to hear from you. Please leave a comment below and share one thing you learned today and how you plan to use it in your life. Your thoughts are important to us and help us continue creating meaningful content. If you found this video helpful, please like, subscribe, and share it with others who might benefit. Your support helps us inform and inspire more people every day. Thanks for watching, and we look forward to connecting with you in our next video.